Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered abroad, and believers in the Messiah. Welcome, everybody. It's Friday night, which, of course, means for us time for Hidden Manna, just a neat conversation about the things of Yah. And, of course, to join me tonight is my dear brother, Max. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too. Good to see you, too. I've been sweating it, man. My little guy is sick. So I know everything is just read today. It's the worst flu season in 25 years.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. Bad. We got hit with it right after we came back from
vacation, right?
Vacation. The lady sitting next to me on the plane, she was wearing a mask and doing a little coughing. I didn't think anything of it, but I guess she was starting to get it.
Oh yeah.
And we all know how well masks work out, right?
Yep.
After all that stuff they put us through. But so we got
especially
back
on a plane, right? All the recycled air.
Yeah, I think we got back that Sunday, and that Monday, just started to feel, you knew something, you knew it was coming. And then
you get those little scratches in your throat.
Yeah, by the next day, man, I couldn't get out of bed. I was hurting. And it's been 5 weeks. And I mean, I'm better. I'm definitely better. I'm stronger. I'm, working out, going back to my regular routine.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that nagging cough that just doesn't go away.
Sometimes it can last for over a month, that cough.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, so whenever you get the flu, and you ever notice that any injury that you've had, so your back, it always aggravates us. That's how I know when I'm getting sick, if I start getting more of those pain areas where I have injury, right? So,
my back, my hips. I got that first time I really got that was the first time I had COVID.
Yeah, all the inflammation,
But now anytime I get the flu anywhere that you've had inflammation issues, it's terrible. It's terrible. I couldn't even move. I mean, it's the worst back pain I've had since the days of, yesteryear having surgeries and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel much better. Now we're good.
Good, yeah.
We're all good, but we just have this lingering cough. It's not what I cough on all the time, but every now and then you just start coughing. You're like, come on. Yeah. You wake up every morning, you're like, okay, is it gone?
Is it the day?
Is this it? And then you cough, you're like, another day.
Yeah. Interesting leeway till for later on, huh?
Yeah, interesting leeway. As a matter of fact, tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about healing. Give me a second because I got a cough. See what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about healing tonight. Have a little discussion on healing. It's a bit I wouldn't say controversial, but I want to just deal with the subject in a realistic, type of way, but we'll get there. For everybody that's joining us, please, if you have, if this is the first time you're hanging out with us, or you've been hanging out with us, first of all, give us a thumbs up. If you enjoy the message, if you enjoy what we do, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, share this out with somebody. Make sure you hit the bell so you're notified each time that we go live. You can download the LMC app. You can go to Google Play Store. You can go to the App Store. Be in touch with all the different things we got coming up. Could you believe the Spring Feast, like right around the corner now?
Yep, I know.
The year has just flown right by.
Yeah.
And so the spring, all the information about the Spring Feast are there, and you guys can join the LMC chat and just be part of what all the stuff that we're doing. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. We sincerely appreciate it.
Yep. Love you guys.
Yes.
Oh, and continue. I know. I don't want to jump ahead of PD.
No, go for it.
To send in some set apart music that you guys want to. Cause we've been doing that, just testing it out. Right, it's fun. It's a different kind of study we do on Friday night than PD is Wednesday and Saturday, obviously. So if you have any type of music that you like to have on Shabbat, send it in. We got tonight, right? I can say, right? We got Michelle. Actually, when PD mentioned it last week, she instantly texted him. So she was first one in. So we got her, and I think Dave Figueroa.
Oh, did he?
One. Yeah, he sent me. So next week we're gonna play his, and then we'll put it in order like that, right? First come, first serve. So
I had somebody. Well, I like. We're gonna show you Becca Shea in just a second. Really, I really like her music.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I really have. I listen to music, but I really haven't gotten so much into this type of music. But there's some really good stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
But Sister Stephanie, sent me a song. I forgot what it's called. It's Anchor in the Storm. I forgot who the artist is. Let me see if I can put up because people are going to probably want to go check this out. Let's see. I know I got it in here somewhere. Yeah, it's called Anchor in the Storm. by Stendi Zenke. We'll preview it in a couple. He sent it to me, and so I put it on. I'm going to listen. I listened to him like, wait a minute, that's going to be in my playlist for leg day.
Oh, there you go. It's good when you want to.
Yeah, it gets you pumped up. It gets you going. So it's definitely going to be in my playlist, but specifically for leg day, because nobody likes leg day.
I love watching all those memes. You see a guy all jacked, and then you see his legs.
You see his legs.
Someone skipped leg day.
These little pencil legs. And actually, I've seen people like that. Yeah. I really have.
Real quick, man. When I was in college, I had a guy who was opposite. He was 300 pounds, but upper body wise, about the size of you. His legs.
Wait. What do you mean the size? What do you mean the size of me?
No, it's a compliment. Well, he weighed 300 pounds, but his upper body was only the size of yours. But you don't weigh anywhere near. Like
brother, no matter how you say this, the more you talk, the worse it's getting.
But anyway, so you figure about 200 pounds or more was just in his legs. He was a wrestler. Wow. And he used this kid. His legs were, I'd never seen in person someone's legs this big before. But anyway, I digress. But don't skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day. Definitely don't skip. Actually, I saw a really interesting study on that the strength and the thickness of your legs are directly proportionate to your longevity.
Yeah, longevity, and also, you know what else? Your grip, hand grip.
Oh, really? I didn't know about the hand grip.
Yeah, hand grip. Same thing. I saw there was they all three of them go together, leg strength. And that's so true. Once you lose your legs, that's it.
Well, if you look at, what is that called, when you lose bone and mass density as you get older?
Well, scarpenia is for muscle. Yeah,
scarpenia. But I'm not saying that because if you look at that, some people that are as they get older and they get sickly, they just start losing muscle mass, and one of the first places they lose it is the legs.
Yeah, yep. That's why they say as you get older, you should increase your protein, don't decrease it.
Yeah.
another matter. We'll hit it one day.
Yeah, we got to do a health thing one day. We've learned, Karen and I have learned so much about health and eating, and you've seen Karen's journey, where she's come from and where she is today, and but she still hates leg day just as much as I do. We send each other little videos.
I don't know what it is, right? It's just that thing. No, what it is.
It takes the most out of you.
And it does. It exerts you. And sometimes, it's the most hidden thing, Wintertime, you're wearing pants. No one gets to see the guns, Because there's always that little bit of,
I just mentally, I can't wrap my mind around it. So I procrastinate on leg day. Finally, Karen kicks me out of the house. I go do it. I feel tired when I get back. It's the next day.
Oh, yeah.
You wake up and you're like, and you just can't move. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it.
It's true. And the last thing before we get started, and I think there's that you have to use so much more weight for your legs, so it's also more tedious putting the plates on and So leg day, I get it.
Anyway, so we'll definitely do a health thing sometime in the future. But let's take a listen to this is Becca Shea. Let me pop this up so you guys can see it with us, and we can do a little. Oh no, that's not the one. I think this is the one. Here we go, and there we go. Her name is Becca Shea. You were telling me, I think she's Native American or Native American.
Her mother is Cherokee descent, and her father is Jewish. So she's part Jewish and Cherokee Indian.
This particular song definitely has that Native American vibe, which is it's really good. So we'll play a little bit of it from the beginning. This is I want you guys to hear this that drum, and you can, as soon as you hear it, you're like, yeah, that's definitely a Native American beat. But it's really cool. And then we'll stop, and then we'll move on over to the chorus part of it, so you guys can hear the chorus. Again, we can't play the whole thing out. But and then we got to stop it and talk about it so that we don't get dinged for copyright, because we keep getting dinged every week for copyright. But so let's take a listen to this, guys. Check this out. This is Becca Shea. Add this to your playlist. It's called Heartbeat. You're gonna like it. You're gonna enjoy it. Here we go.
And has blood has ransomed people for God.
Yeah.
From every tribe and language, people, every nation. Where warriors are falling, there's a resurrection coming. It's your time to rise and shine. being healed by the beat. Oh yeah, who's bringing us power?
I love that drum beat, huh?
Oh, it's amazing. Amazing. I mean, that is definitely a Native American drum beat there.
Oh yeah.
But it's also a little bit modernized too. It's got that, that head bopping thing to it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to listen to that and not get that, that little head bob.
Yeah, this might be good for either chest day or back day. I'm going to skip on down to the to the chorus so you guys can hear the chorus. It really, really is good. This is about 1 minute in, and here we go. Yeah, I like it.
Me too.
There you go again. Back to that beat.
Yep.
So there it is, guys. That's Becca Shea, champion. It's so awesome that, and for YouTube, guys, we're doing commentary on it.
Yep.
All right, we're not just playing, we're doing commentary on it. But for the algorithm, I really love that Native American beat. I gotta listen to more of her stuff. Is all of her stuff like this?
Pretty much. She's definitely modern, good sound. What we can do is, I don't want to say something I'm not going to do, but maybe in the future, all the stuff we put on here, we can make maybe a big playlist and make it available on the church app that you can just download it or do a paste and copy and put it into whatever, whatever store you use, whether it's, whatever, Spotify. So yeah, maybe we'll do that too, right? So we'll put a big list together. That's what we want to do, man, on Saturday. After we watch service or even like tonight, we'll just play set apart music, chill in the background,
Yeah, no, I enjoy it. We do the same thing every time. Well, you know me. Every time I cook, I just turn the music on and just just listen to it.
Yep.
So we appreciate that. And Michelle sent that to us, right?
Yes. Yep. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. You're listening to some awesome music out there, guys. Again, if you guys have music that you're listening to, stuff that you appreciate, send it to us. We'll give it a quick play. We'll do a little commentary on it, do a little response thing. Ever see all those videos now? These guys they sit there, they play somebody else's music, and they just do like a reaction to it. So
some of them are definitely fake. I remember real quick, you see people like the first time hearing "Aha," "Take on Me." It's come on, really? You never heard that song?
Have you ever seen? I don't know what the guy's name is. The guy's got the beard and he's the drummer.
The awesome drummer guy.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what his name is, but he does
pedal and all that.
Oh yeah, he's so fast. I like the reaction videos. I like his videos anyway. Anyway, there we are. Becca Shea. So guys, check that out. She's on YouTube. I'm sure she's on Spotify. You guys can get her music and put it into your playlist. All right, so. We're going to talk about healing tonight, guys. Well, and if there's something our world really needs right now, it's healing. It's absolute healing. It's man, I'm just blown away by the I don't even know what I guess lawlessness is really the best way to put it. But what's been going on in Minnesota, just that people have this idea that they can just go to the police and act that way.
Yeah.
But the thing that really bothers me is that why don't you just arrest everybody?
I know.
Just arrest them all.
Yep.
Give them all federal charges. That's the only way they're going to learn.
Yep. And let's be honest, right? Their leadership is edging this on, man. The mayor and that governor is.
I know, it's scary. They started walking it back today. Because I think they got some calls from the Democrats in Washington because they said some really crazy stuff about fighting ICE and
did you and again with sad story, the lady who got shot last week. Did you see the footage that came out today from her I know her partner? First thing she said was that she didn't realize that ICE had real bullets in their gun. This is how far. How they're just, real bullets in their gun, brainwashed. These are real law enforcement. They are law enforcement.
Well, you know what we have to realize is that as much as it is the people that are doing this crazy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously there's fault on them that if you think that you can do that. And I think they broke into an FBI truck or
Stealing,
something,
some ammo they stole,
ammo,
right? Yeah.
paperwork, all the rest of that. As much as it is certainly their fault that if you think that they don't have real guns, that they're not real police, that's bad enough. But it's outside influences. There is an absolute attack on the sovereignty of this nation from outside forces that are Marxist forces, that are communist, that are funding all of this.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
are training all. These aren't a lot of those people. They're paid.
Yeah,
they're paid to be there.
I don't remember his name, so it's not hearsay. But I know that there was a billionaire they were linking back to China.
Yeah.
That's been funding a lot of this stuff. But at the end of the day, too, people forget, and I'm sure whoever's watching that's maybe in law enforcement, these guys want to go home to their family at the end of the day.
Oh
man.
yeah.
These are humans, and these people are just, I don't know, like you said, lawless. It's sad, but that can be a whole. I don't want to waste the whole time because it's just crazy.
So you've got the agenda from the news that's pushed it. Today, back was it 2016? Well, just before at the end of Obama's term.
Was it 14,
4 million people, and nobody batted a word. And CNN actually did a ride along with them, where they're going into places, people's jobs, and taking them and doing it. And CNN had no problem with it. And of course today, because it's it's this administration, but it really is. This is an attack from outside. That's because you're never going to beat America with bombs and missiles. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But asymmetric warfare to usurp the college education system. To
drugging our youth and
drugs and that's asymmetric warfare, and that's what's really, really going on. And we better wake up to that, because this is as much warfare as anything else.
Yep.
But anyway, so we need healing. They need healing. The people that are doing this, they need healing, because some of it just, I'm thinking to myself, why would you even put yourself in that position and think you're going to get away with it? So we want to talk about healing today, because that's definitely one of those topics that I mean, you got to take an honest look at it. I've gotten sort of to the point in my walk and my understanding of the things of Yah. I really don't. I don't care about defending a position. Just because you have a position, just because a denomination or a fellowship or a group or a name says this is our position, I'm not about defending positions. I just want to know what's accurate. I want to take an honest look at things and just be honest about it. Yeah. And there are things we don't know. We just or we haven't figured out yet. There's things we've been told that, the more I start to look at them, like, wait a minute, that I know that's what I was told, but then again, that's our whole walk, right? Because at some point we were all like, wait a minute, the religious world around us is telling us A, B, and C, and we're like, wait a minute, but it says these things too. How do you square that circle? And healing's one of them. Even Wednesday night, if you've been listening to Wednesday night. It's a very, very different perspective.
Yeah, and then what happens in that world, right? Because they're teaching this as doctrine. If you have faith enough to believe, you're going to get healed, which leads to all these phony balonies out there, right?
Well, that's where we came from, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've come from charismatic, evangelical, Pentecostal, Baptist, all those, and certainly within all of those groups is the idea of healing. And of course, then you've got your charlatans and all these huge, but then you ask yourself, why are these ministries? And of course, Benny Hinn's he's older now. I think he's still doing some stuff, but he's not on the level he was.
Yeah.
But why when he was doing it, why were there tens and tens and tens, hundreds of thousands of people, showing up for these things? And it was all a farce.
Yep.
There was no healing that went on in there. It was all scams.
We've seen that one guy with has the big man bun on top of his head, the dreads. He's
Oh,
and he would do the leg trick.
from,
Remember?
From California.
Yeah, and they actually had like 2020 busted him and
I
back in the
forgot
day
his.
and all
I
these
forgot his name. I forgot his name. I know. I know you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. He did the whole
Todd
leg
White, is
thing.
it Todd something?
Todd something or
Yeah,
other.
Todd something. Yeah, I seen. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I saw him. I saw him do something, some video in Israel where he did the same thing to somebody, and oh, your leg is growing. I'm thinking to myself,
Shifting their foot, the shoe, and the whole. Yeah.
come on. And he's still big. I mean, he still has
yeah.
a big following.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason that there's such a big following to these things is because that offers a lot of hope for people.
Yeah, it's a big need, right? Yeah,
Right. It is a big need.
Yeah.
You know, who if you are sick in some sort of way, injured,
Yeah, who wants to
you
be
have a
sick,
disease,
right?
who doesn't, who and you read the gospel accounts, and you see just healing after healing after healing after healing, and then
so much so that it says that even the books couldn't contain, right?
Exactly, and we have this perception that well, that's got to still be going on today if we are still walking in Messiah. And let me just preface this, everybody, by saying, do I believe that Elohim can heal? Absolutely, 100%. I believe Elohim can heal. I believe in healing, like I believe in the gift of Abba's Spirit, like I believe in prophecy and etc. You go through all of that stuff. Believe in all of that. My issue is, I don't think what we see today, for all of those things, whether it's prophecy, whether it's tongues, whether it's healing, go through the list. I just don't think that what we're actually seeing or what is being put forth as that is actually that. I think it's us. I think it's emotion. I think it's I don't know what it's, but I just don't see it. Maybe not all of it, because I do believe those things. I just think the majority of what we see doesn't really pass the sniff test. As to is it real?
Yeah, and especially once we dive into this and see, why was it abundant, right? You're talking about Mashiach coming in the flesh, right? So there's got to be a reason.
Well, that's just it. What if? And let's just be honest with ourselves. Do we see today, in our modern world, in whatever fellowship you go to, in LMC or wherever it is, do you see healings going on, like as you read in the gospel accounts? It's one after the other. Every Shabbat, Messiah was healing somebody, which is kind of a unique thing in and of itself, right? A lot of the healings occurred on Shabbat. That's a whole other message in and of itself. But there's one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Where is that? Where it says when after Shabbat ended, right?
Yeah.
They just lined up, boom, just nonstop,
Yeah, and it says, and he healed everyone. Everyone that came to him, he healed. But let's be honest, that's not happening today.
Nope.
Not like that. I mean, we don't have a Shabbat service and everybody lines up afterwards and we all get prayed over and everybody's healed. My goodness, if we did that, then we wouldn't need, healthcare.
Yeah.
We wouldn't need
exactly.
doctors and all the rest of that.
Can I interject too? It has nothing to do with faith, right? It doesn't mean that your faith isn't great, that you don't have enough faith, right? Because we see every disciple, right, that they all had to taste the curse of death, right? No matter how much faith they had, right?
That's definitely part of that, this modern sort of evangelical whatever group teaching on this, that if you have enough faith, you can get healed. And certainly faith is an issue in all things, but it's not just faith. There's everything that Elohim does has a purpose.
Yep.
And it has an intent. And again, we're not saying that we don't think that Elohim can heal. If people are sick, do we pray for people in our congregation are sick? All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
The scripture tells you, right? Go to an elder, anoint you with oil. Yeah, of course. But I think at that point, it's Abba having compassion on you, as opposed to what we read in the scripture. I think there's right another purpose along with that. So.
And listen, somebody goes in to the hospital and we're praying for their healing and they have an operation and they get out and they're better. Do I thank Abba for that? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But obviously men had a hand in all of that too, and medicines. Yep. That's not the type of healings Messiah did.
Yeah.
Or even some of the apostles afterward.
Yep.
Their healing was like, the guy's paralyzed and, get up and walk. You just mentioned, James, you just mentioned, because this I think really sort of connects it. At least it connects with, or puts us in the direction we want to go for tonight. James, or really Yaakov, James chapter 5, which should be familiar to all of us, because this is the instruction. Don't forget, if we're going to follow anybody, first of all, follow the Messiah, right? Follow his words, and then the ones that Messiah put in charge, which was Yaakov. He was the one that's in charge. I know everyone wants to follow Saul. Yaakov was in charge. And I'm not saying don't follow Saul, but Yaakov was in charge. James was in charge. And then it's not that, Abba didn't use Saul. Obviously, he did as a great instructor for the nations, for the peoples. But so often we interpret him as being separate from Messiah, that he did something different. And that's just not the truth.
Yeah, and that's just modern Christianity, right?
So here's James, or Jacob, chapter 5, verse 14. Is any among you sick? It's talking about in your congregation, your fellowship. Let him call for the elders of the assembly, and let them pray over him, having anointed him with oil in the name of the master, meaning in the authority of the master, which I guess that's also part of this whole thing, because I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. We're so used to, when we pray, we say, in the name of Yeshua, or, you got the rest of the world says, in the name of Jesus, right? We say that sort of like a tag at the end of the prayer, when that's not really what it means when it says
like a hashtag
hashtag in the name of. No, this it really isn't about a hashtag. When Messiah says, whatever you ask, you have till now you have not asked anything in my name. Whatever you ask from now on, whatever you ask in my name, it shall be done. And then you get those faith healers and all the rest of all the people today that take that verse and say, well, here it says, whatever we ask in his name, he's going to do. That's not what it means. When it says to ask in his name, it means to ask in the authority of, in the will of. So Messiah comes in the will of the Father. He did nothing except the will of the Father. And in doing the will of the Father, all sorts of other things got done, like all these healings and all the rest of that. So Messiah then tells the disciples, and by extension, all of us who believe, that whatever you ask in my name, what he's really saying is, whatever you ask in my authority, in my will, what has been revealed to you of my Father, he's going to do that. The trick is, you got to ask in obedience to his will.
Yeah, and it also shows his priestly authority, right? You had to go always had to go through the high priest.
Got to go through the high priest for sure.
Right? So, but
so it doesn't necessarily mean, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with saying in the name of, but you just got to know that it's not like a magic trick. It's not like rub the lamp three times.
Sealed and dealed, kind of, whatever.
Yeah, name it and claim it.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah,
that's not what it means. It means we're supposed to understand the will, understand what his authority is, what he's asked us to do, and then ask within that authority. So anyway, so it says, anoint him with oil in the name of the Master, in the authority of the Messiah. And the prayer of faith, the prayer of belief, shall save the sick, and the Master shall raise him up. So definitely, there's an instruction to pray for those who are sick, no doubt.
Yep.
And if he has committed sins, he shall be forgiven. And very, very often, sin has a very, very close relationship with sickness. Not to say that you are sick always because you've sinned. There are instances of that, but I think it's a parallel. It's a teaching. He's just like there's an earthly and a heavenly reality. That sickness is a earthly example of our spiritual condition, our entire condition. Yep. And all of a sudden, you start looking at it from that perspective. And it just takes on a whole new meaning. And I think you'll find as we go through some of these verses that's actually has been the meaning from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Sickness has always been connected to our sin nature.
Yep. And that's why, hence the title for tonight, right? Restoration of all things.
All right, what do you got first?
Well, I was reading Matthew this week. This is why
let me
I
pop
brought
this
it up.
I didn't put it up here.
And there's another association that we also see, right? Because it's if we pull up Matthew 4.
That's James chapter 5 up there, guys. I'm sorry I didn't put it up before, but Matthew.
Yeah, this is the verse I read earlier in the week, and anyway, so Matthew 4, 13.
Okay. 13 to where?
4:13. You got? Is this 4? Chapter 4?
Matthew chapter 4. Leaving
23.
Nazareth.
23. My bad.
23.
51-year-old eyes looking. I got nervous. I read it. I'm like, that's not the verse.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've done that, like on a Shabbat or in a message, and you got a particular verse in your mind, and the one that's written down, you're like, that ain't it. How am I going to do this now?
Yep, that's funny.
It says, and Yeshua went out of Galilee, teaching in their congregations and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom. So that's important right there, but we'll get to that. And healing every disease and every bodily weakness among the people. That had to be amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. And obviously, even in 24, all who were sick, right? They brought them. So right now we see the association with, like you said the other day, right? Nothing was broken down by verse and chapter. This is all connecting the good news of the kingdom with also healing of every disease and every bodily weakness. So just, starting to think about it, right? We want to be restored. What is the whole purpose, right? To be restored back to the garden, right? What was in the garden, right? Before sin entered, there was no sickness, there was no death, there was eternal life, right? At that point, until that sin. So when I started to look in, I stopped reading. I was looking at I looked up some stuff on Google. What are most of the healings that we see in Scripture? Right? Blindness, deaf, lame, and leper, right? So, I mean, right off the, bat, we should all, those spidey senses, like you said.
Those who are mute.
Yeah, yep. Unable to, the blind are unable to perceive Yah's truth. Isaiah 42, 6 and 7, if I'm pulled it up.
Yep, let me pop that up there so you guys can see. Wait, I went too far. Isaiah 42.
Yep.
6 and 7.
Yes.
Here it is, guys. I, Yahweh, have called you in righteousness, and I strengthen your hand and guard you, and give you for a covenant to a people, for a light to the nations, which is actually the verses that we were just reading, as he goes to Galil as a light to the nations.
Yep.
To open blind eyes, to bring out prisoners from the prison, those who sit in darkness from the prison house.
Okay, so now there's dual meaning, right? Obviously, there's the spiritual, unable to perceive truth. So now he's opening their eyes. And also, you don't think that these people were in synagogue every Shabbat reading these scriptures, right? If you don't believe me, believe the works, right? Don't they know? Don't we see that they know these prophecies of what Mashiach is going to do, right? Open the eyes of the blind. Also 29:18, same book.
Isaiah?
Yeah. 29:18.
How come I keep going past it? There we go. Isaiah 29, and here's 18, guys. Hope it doesn't make you dizzy watching this on the screen. It says, and in that day the deaf shall hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of gloom and out of darkness. So it keeps making that this, obviously this becomes literal because Messiah is here, he's doing it.
Yep.
But even the prophecy of it is really giving us a spiritual meaning.
Yeah. There's the dual purpose, right, of both the physical and the spiritual. And of course, we can associate that with the deaf as well in the same verse, but also
where does it say that?
Right above it, in that day the deaf shall hear the words of the book.
Okay, there you go. And that day the deaf shall hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of the gloom.
Yep, and this is the big one too. Also, Isaiah chapter 35.
I know this one.
And you wonder why Isaiah is one of the forbidden books.
Oh man, Isaiah's a phenomenal book. Once you really begin to understand what Isaiah is about. So Isaiah, what 35?
Yeah, you can just start at verse 5, just because we're on the blind. Verse 5, and then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf be opened. Isn't that funny how they both simultaneously did both? The blind and
it keeps them together.
Yeah,
this is really it's kind of weird because we're going to talk about this next week at on Wednesday, because we're gonna talk, when there's portions of the gospel, like when the master is before Caiaphas and Annas, right, and they put him under a we adjure you. They put him under like some sort of a binding oath. Tell us, are you the Mashiach or not? And he says, yes, I am. And then he says, and you shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds in glory. And he's making a reference to words that are spoken in the book of Daniel. But he's speaking to is it Caiaphas? Yeah, he's speaking to Caiaphas, and he's telling them, and you will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. The thing is, Caiaphas never saw that.
Yeah.
Right. So is Messiah being metaphysical, spiritual, or is he being literal? Or are there times when we misunderstand what see means? Because we're reading it in English, right? We're reading it from our 21st century perspective. And when we say, so we're taking it as he's going to actually see Messiah coming in the clouds. And we'll get more into this on Wednesday. But when you actually look up that word, it can mean to physically see. That's one of its definitions. But its bigger definition is to perceive, to understand, to recognize. And I think what he's telling Caiaphas is there's going to come a day you're going to recognize I am the one that comes. In other words, he's going to realize who Messiah is. And does he do that? Well, look what all the apostles do, what the story is. Jerusalem falls, the rebellions, all this stuff happens. Eventually, all the stuff with Rome coming in. I wonder if at some point Caiaphas realized that Caiaphas saw it. We even say it today, right? Somebody's talking to you and they're trying to explain something and you say, oh, yeah, I see that. But you don't see it, you understand it. You perceive it. And that's going to help us understand Matthew 24. And I think you see the same thing here, because he's saying to open the eyes of the blind and the ears of the deaf be open. So yeah, there's a literal meaning to it, but the bigger meaning that he's actually really saying is that those who cannot perceive who he is, their eyes will be open to that. And those who haven't heard, who can't perceive through the things they've heard, they're going to hear, my sheep are going to hear my voice. So it has a much, much bigger meaning than just actual seeing and actual hearing. And what do we pray all the time? Allah, give us eyes to see and ears to hear. We don't pray that meaning, let me actually see something. We pray that as, let me perceive, help me to understand, help me to be able to when I read your word, to put it in its proper context. And then if I'm mute, then touch my tongue and then give me the ability to bring it forth in a way that someone else can now see or perceive.
Or even, the lame, the ability to walk upright. But now in Messiah, we can walk in righteousness, right?
Well, here's the other one. Then the lame shall leap like a deer, and the tongue of the dumb sing. So there it is. So we've got perceiving with your eyes, understanding with your ears, walking it out, like a deer jumping around, and being able to speak it, because a dumb person is someone that cannot speak. Because waters shall burst forth in the wilderness. Even that, it's not necessarily talking about a river that's going to pop open in the middle of the desert, though that stuff definitely happens. He's talking about rivers of living water coming out of us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's definitely a dual meaning.
Yeah, especially but lepers, right? Restoring covenant defilement, right? From Leviticus 13, the lepers were unclean, and then we know Matthew 8 and also Luke 17 with the 10 lepers, right? He makes them clean.
Right.
He tells us, how many times he rose from the dead. Not him, Lazarus. The commanders. All the people. The 3 people in the scripture he rose, right? 3.
Let's see.
Not a record. I think that we're told about.
There's a young man. That is recorded. There's a young man who was his funeral. There's Tabitha.
Yep.
Who had died. Jairus. Was it Jairus? Jairus' daughter.
Yeah.
The head of the synagogue.
The head. Yep.
And then Lazarus. But then again, that's what we.
No,
that's what we know.
Just like we hear in John, right? 20. And then obviously that was a foreshadowing of the resurrection, right?
And that's exactly what he tells Miriam.
Yeah, because she knew, right, about he's like, well, right now it's physically gonna be your brother, but yeah, she even knew.
So that brings us to an interesting. Let me pop out of this for a second. That brings us to an interesting point here. Then, so why do all of these things in the manner that they occur? Well, Mashiach is here. Now, don't forget, we say Mashiach, we say Messiah, but we need to remember, we're talking about Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Elohim is here.
Yep.
No one has done the things as miraculously as Elohim did. Mm-hmm. But then he tells the disciples to go out and for their 40 years of that up to the time of the destruction of Jerusalem, because most of them die before the destruction. So a couple of them live afterward, but not much afterward. Mm-hmm. At least that's, if the dates are correct, most of them, the vast majority of them, die before the destruction of Jerusalem. And they're doing all of these amazing things. So the question is, why? I think the answer is the same as we've been talking about on Wednesdays. To confirm the covenant.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's confirming the covenant of Moses with the destruction of the temple, but he's also confirming the establishment of the new covenant, which is bringing life. So when Abba established the original covenant with Moses, how does he do it? My goodness, miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle.
Yeah.
Right. But there were no. And even in the wilderness for the 40 years after, miracle after miracle after miracle, and then not so much.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It happens from time to time.
Yeah,
but it's not so much.
Miracles were increased before judgment, not after.
So I wonder if we're actually looking at the same pattern.
Yeah.
Right. So if he established or he confirmed Moses, the covenant he was going to bring to Moses, with all of these amazing signs and wonders and the death angel and the blood and all the rest of that stuff. And then there's 40 years of the wilderness with signs and wonders and all the rest of that. Mm-hmm. And then it's time to go into the land.
Yeah.
And it's after, once they're in the land, it's not that some things don't happen, but you don't hear about it. It's not of the same quantity. Mm-hmm. As before. I wonder if that's the pattern that we're seeing. So he's confirming the covenant of Moses up until the destruction of the temple. Mm-hmm. But he's also confirming like the original covenant with Moses with signs and wonders, because that's what he says to them, right? If you don't want to believe me, at least believe the works.
Yeah. Yeah. And we can bring up a couple of John chapter 5, verse 36.
Let me get there.
Right.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I wonder if that's the pattern.
Yeah.
John chapter 5, you said?
Yeah, verse 36.
Let me put this up so people can see it. Verse 36 says, "But I have a greater witness than that of John, for the works that the Father gave me to accomplish, the works that I do, bear witness of me, that the Father has sent me." Well, this is related to, was it last week's message or the week before that?
Yeah, I mean, the people are seeing the authority, right? That was given, right? All authority has been given, right, to Yeshua. And then also John 10:38. This is the one that we just quoted before. 10:38.
10:38 says, but if I do, though you do not believe me, believe the works, so that you know and believe that the Father is in me and I in him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the real quick, then I'm gonna let you. I know
go
I've
ahead.
been taking a
No.
The last one I wanted to bring up was when John, right, sends his disciples, the two of them, in Matthew 11.
I'm sorry, I was just looking at just some of the comments on there. They came to the same conclusions we did. But go ahead. I'm sorry. What was it?
Matthew 11, 4 and 5.
Matthew 11 and verse 4 says, and Yeshua answering said to them, go report to John what you see and hear. The blind receive sight, the lame walk, lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear.
And literally, if you hit the little bubble, he's quoting
Isaiah 35, 5 and 6.
Right.
The dead are raised up, and the poor are brought the good news. That is Isaiah 61, 1, which is interesting. I think I did this in a message a while ago. This order, the only other place it appears like this is in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Okay. Yeah.
When they said, these are the things Messiah will do. And it gives this list, which is a combination of two things. And that's exactly the list, as if John would have recognized that from the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Dead Sea Scrolls, one in the wilderness,
And he does other things like that too. The whole thing with the donkey. If your donkey's in a hole, like on the Shabbat, if your donkey's in a hole, you can go get it. It just so happens in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Zadok priest, they said, if your donkey's in a hole, you can't do anything. It's Shabbat.
Yeah.
Leave it there. So he picks the exact example that they used, and he corrects them.
Yep.
That's only found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. That's to me, that's just evidence.
Oh yeah.
That's just evidence. So these are the things that should let John know, because when you read the Dead Sea Scrolls, when it quotes these, it says these are the things the Mashiach will do. These are the things that the Melchizedek priest will do. So he's confirming to him who he is. But of course, so these things are happening in a physical sense. But as you said, he's introducing the kingdom to them. He's giving them a taste. Because what is Messiah? He is the first fruits.
Yep.
So we always think of it, okay, he's the first fruits of those born from among the dead. He absolutely is. But he is also bringing the first fruits, just the taste of the kingdom.
Yep.
As a proof, as a confirmation of the covenant.
Yep.
That is to be established.
The future guarantee, the guarantee of the future, right?
So these are things we will look forward to. That is no more sickness, death, et cetera. But then again, so then the question then becomes, so why do we not see this in the volume of occurrences as we did in the days of Mashiach? And I think this is answered when Thomas says, the week after the resurrection, he's like, I'm not going to believe unless I see the side, right? I put my hand in the side. And Mashiach's response to him is, blessed are your eyes, for they see. You perceive. So he's seeing. Right? Blessed are you see, you saw with your hands, but blessed are those who don't see and yet believe or perceive, understand. I think he's talking about, I know he's talking about us, right? Because we don't see. We're not seeing that same thing, and yet do we believe? Yeah, we do.
Yep. That's why blessed are those who have haven't seen, right? Yeah.
So I think I think there's a case to be made. Now, there's some modern religious groups that say, there is no healings today. That stuff doesn't happen. That was just for the days of the apostles. But they don't give a context and an explanation as to why it's the confirmation of the covenant. But then they reject anything today. And my goodness, you can't limit Elohim. If if it in some way adds to the story, opens up an eye, literally a perception, if it is within the name, the authority of the Mashiach, don't you think he'll do it today?
Yeah, well, just like
I
with
think he
Lazarus,
would.
right? It was for Abba's glory, not for, not for per se just to raise him from the dead, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It wasn't just a raising for the dead. It was the first fruits. It was a taste of what's to come.
Yep.
But then there comes a point where, this has to go out to the whole world, and we either come by faith or we don't.
Yeah.
But we will see these things again. I mean, not just see these things again. We will have perfect health again. And we'll look at some scriptures that say that. But all of these things, very, how often are these things connected to sin? Here's, let me see if I can find this. A whole bunch of different verses here. Psalm 103, verses 2 and 3. So this isn't just us doing this. This was a concept even before connecting sin. So the sickness is a type of the sin. He's come to heal the sin. So Psalm 103 and verses 2 and 3. Bless Yahuwah, O my being, and all that is within me. Bless his set apart name. Bless Yahuwah, O my being, and do not forget all of his dealings, who forgives all of your crookedness, our sin, who heals all of your diseases. Now, we take that as today, okay, well, that's a promise. He's going to heal all of our diseases. So what happens when he doesn't heal? Well, you're missing the point. He is going to heal all of our diseases. The ultimate healing at the end of this thing is resurrection.
Yeah.
So he's keeping his promise. It means what it says. But notice how healing and sickness are connected. They're entwined.
Anyone out there who's an old member, Striper, the Christian group, Isaiah 53:5, by his stripes we are healed. Right?
Oh, okay.
So it's not just a physical.
The sin is healed.
Yeah.
So ultimately, yes. I mean, should we be praying for healing? And emphatically, absolutely, we should. And if it serves Abba's story, he'll do it.
Yeah.
Or he won't. But
not,
is that going to make me, if I don't get healed, if I'm praying for something and I don't get healed, is that going to make me, because this is what people do. They say, then he's not there, then God's not there, and Elohim's not there, and why do I believe, and all the rest of that stuff. Now, I pointed out, I think it was last Shabbat, that when you read the Exodus, when he takes them out at the mountain, and he tells them he's going to make them if they obey his commandments, all the rest of that stuff, that he's going to make them a kingdom, a kings and priest, a royal priesthood, kings and priest. And yet that never happened. That just never happened. They weren't kings, and they didn't act anywhere. Now there were kings and priests. There were Judah, the kingly line, and the priestly line, Levi, but the whole nation were not kings and priests. So when did that happen? Well, that doesn't even start or begin until Mashiach comes. So you've got all of this history where he said it, and he said it, but he didn't mean tomorrow. He didn't mean in 100 years. It's a I guess to Elohim, what is time? What is 1,000 years? He's still going to answer the prayer. We're now are we a royal priesthood? Well, that's what Peter tells us. In 2 Peter, that's what he tells us. We are a royal priesthood. We are a kingdom of priests. Now we're starting to walk in that way. And then ultimately, when you read Revelation, we are going to serve as priests.
Yep.
And we are going to rule as kings.
Yep.
So did he keep the promise that he made in Exodus 19? Yes. Did he keep it 100 years after? No. 200 years after? No. 1,500 years later? Well, it started to happen around then. 15, 16, 1700 years later. And here we are today. We're still in that preparatory mode, working towards this. Here's Revelation chapter 21. So you got to wonder as you read all of those healing verses like Deuteronomy, Exodus. I wonder if he's talking down the road.
Yeah. Well, Romans 8 says that we're waiting for bodily redemption, right? Not.
Well, that's I don't know if I mention that because we did the. Was it last week? All these messages, these sermons, jumbled in time in my head.
The one big ball, right?
But we were talking about the seed, right? The eating of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? So our forefathers ate that fruit. That fruit is now in us. It's part of us. It's part of our spiritual, our fleshly makeup. So all men sin, thus all men die, because that is the fruit of that seed. That seed is passed down to all of us. So, but we weren't allowed to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life, because if you eat that fruit, then that seed gets planted in you, and so he doesn't allow them to do it until Messiah comes. He's on the cross. He is the very tree of life. So now he tells us to come and eat, right? Eat, taste, and see that the Mashiach is good. It tells us in the New Testament letters. Of course, that's something it says also in the Psalms. So we now eat of Messiah. Now we have. So why are we still sick? Why do we still die? Because that seed of the tree of knowledge of good and evil is still in us. It is in us until we die. Yep. But now we've also eaten of the tree we weren't supposed to eat of before. We didn't have the ability to eat of, but the understanding to eat. We couldn't see. We didn't have the perception to eat of. Now that seed is also in us. So when the first seed that affects our flesh takes its full control and puts us in the grave and turns our flesh to dust, the second seed that we've already ingested begins to do its work. And we will see resurrection.
That's right.
So we still die. We still get hurt. Yeah. We still get sick. Why? Because the first seed has to run its course in us, while the second seed is already starting new life in us. It's changing our desires, the things we want to do, the things we don't want to do. We're fighting that.
It's the beginning of the kingdom, right?
It's the first fruits.
Yeah, it's the beginning. We're not in part. We're not in fullness yet.
Yeah, we don't see, like we read in Corinthians. We only see in part. Yeah. So so people say, so why do we still die and all the rest of this if Messiah came? Because that seed's still in us, and it has to run its course. Yeah. And the ultimate course is death. That's why we go through the whole waters of baptism, because what we're symbolizing is I've died to my allegiance to that seed. Like Messiah died, but I didn't die yet. Yep. I'm going to die, but I didn't die yet. But I did die in one sense, that now I've ingested his seed, and I want to be dead to that, and I want to start living to this other thing. But then there's that battle that goes on, in us all the time, until ultimately Revelation chapter 21 and verse 4. Let me put this up. It says, "And I saw a renewed heaven and a renewed earth, for the former heaven and the former earth had passed away, and the sea is no more. And I, John, saw the set-apart city, the renewed Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from Elohim, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the heaven saying, See, the booth, the tabernacle of Elohim is with men. He shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Elohim himself shall be with them and be their Elohim. And Elohim shall wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there shall be no more death." That seed we ate now has no more bearing on us.
That's right.
"Nor mourning, nor crying, and there shall be no more pain, for the former matters have passed away." The effect of the first seed now has no effect on us anymore.
Yep.
Because now we're resurrected.
Yep.
And we can never be sick again.
Yep.
That's cool.
Good. Yeah. Yep. Amen.
That is cool. What a great what a great analogy. Again, guys, we're not saying that Elohim cannot heal. That when he chooses to, he does. but I really think that all the stuff that we see and we read was the confirmation of the covenant.
Yeah. Yep. It was a greater purpose, right?
The first fruits of it.
First fruits of it. Yep.
And the harvest is coming.
That's right. Because make no doubt, right? God forbid I get sick. I'm going to want all my brothers and sisters that walk in righteousness to pray for me, right?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, of course.
Because again, that goes to our faith, right? Just like when we circumcise our child on the 8th day, that's not his faith. That's my faith put into action, right? Me and my wife. So the same thing, right? I'm still going to go before Father and petition, right? Make my petition known, but that's his compassion, and it rains on the just and the unjust. So,
and if he doesn't heal me, I'm not going to give up. It's not going to stop me. And case in point, to me, my hero is Karen. Yep. My goodness, what that lady has endured, and she just keeps on. She's like that Energizer Bunny thing, just the thing banging the drums. Yeah. Yep. She doesn't stop. And I know she's hurt, and I know she's going through all sorts of things, and she has but she doesn't stop. And just because she has not been healed has not stopped her from her service to Elohim. If anything, it strengthened her service, because then if the prayer is, heal me, or others are praying, heal me, and it doesn't come, the immediate prayer after that is, okay, then strengthen me.
Yeah. Yep.
Strengthen me and let this somehow serve your kingdom.
That's right. Because if I can just add one more thing, because what has happened to our society with all these phonies out there, like we said before, all that does is damage the kingdom. Because what do people see? Every person I know, right, that doesn't walk in truth, they perceive all these movies that you see with, what's his name, the guy from SNL that pretends to be the healer. He's a phony, right? They see all these, that's what they see, right? And it just, it really just, like I said, it destroys our testimony, because even if I don't get healed, it doesn't matter. Yep. It doesn't matter.
Yep. So I hope
is resurrection, right, brother?
Our hope is resurrection. That is the ultimate healing. We've seen the first fruits of it. We read the first fruits of it. We may still even get little pieces of it. Should it serve Abba's will? That's right. But ultimately, everything that he said about healing is going to come our way.
Yep.
It's going to come our way in an eternal sense. So hopefully that ministered to somebody, encouraged somebody, whatever you guys may be going through. Do not give up. Hold on. Yeah, I had this crazy dream. Let me just real quick. I had this crazy dream. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. I'm flying in an airplane. When you dream, it's real to you. Like you're living it. And I'm sitting in this airplane, and I hear the voice of the pilot come on. And it was weird, because he had like an Indian voice, and he comes on and he says, "Brace, brace, brace." And I looked out the window. I'm sitting on the left side of the plane. I looked out the window, and you could see we're losing altitude, and there's a mountain, and the wing of the plane hits the mountain. And in the dream, I got flung. I got my seatbelt on, but I was flung so hard and shocked, of course. But in a millisecond, it was peace. And I just remember saying, "Into your hands." That was it. And boom, I woke up. And of course, I was not going back to sleep after that.
Oh, yeah.
My heart was like pumping out of my chest. But it in that instant, it was just almost, it was a confirmation to me as to where my heart is. Even if it comes to that, it's just, okay, I belong to him.
Yep.
But I am never getting on a plane if there happens to be an Indian pilot. I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
No,
they got flagged again this week.
No, we're going back. We'll take the next plane.
That's funny.
Anyway.
That's good.
Oh, brother.
All right, brother. I love you, man.
Yep, you too, man. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Guys, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We hope that those words encouraged you. Check out that music again, Becca Shea, Champion. You guys, I think will really, really enjoy it. We'll close out with that for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
That's right. Shabbat shalom, guys.
Tomorrow morning at 10:30. Looking forward to it. In the meantime, guys, Peace, everybody. Oh, for our membership, don't forget, guys, we got a membership meeting real quick tomorrow. So make sure everybody's there. So we've got our quorum for our membership meeting. In the meantime, guys, have an awesome evening out there. Peace.
And has blood has
There it is.
people for God. From every tribe and language, people, every nation. Where warriors are falling, there's a resurrection coming. It's your time to rise and shine.